Opposite the northern tip of the Gulf of Naples lies the Isle of Ischia, the largest island in the Gulf and the one with the most diverse features and attractions, an ideal blend of climate, agriculture, spa waters and the sea. Ischia rose from the waves about 60,000 years ago. The island's volcanic origins are reflected in legends which claim that volcanic activity in the area is caused by the movements of a giant monster called Typhoon, who was imprisoned beneath the island by the gods. But they are also visible in the dramatic morphology of the island, which, like the Phlegrean Fields, has many craters or remains of craters dotted around the island, for instance Mount Epomeo and Vivara. The harbour of Ischia was itself a crater up until 1854, when Ferdinand II of Bourbon agreed to excavate an isthmus and thus allow the sea to flood the crater, transforming it into the modern-day harbour. The last volcanic activity to occur on the island was in 1301, when a lava flow formed what is now Punta Molino, and the Casamicciola earthquake of 1883. Although the town of Pithecusa in the Acropolis of Mount Vico was the first Euboean settlement in Campania, little now remains to be seen, but numerous relics are exhibited in the Villa Arbusto Archaeological Museum and the Santa Restituta Museum collection. This is housed in the church of the same name in Lacco Ameno, which was built on the 4th century church, in turn built on a Roman reservoir that had also served as a necropolis. Here, in addition to the findings from the Roman and Paleo-Christian necropolis, material collected all over the island is also on display, such as the relics from the Bronze and Iron Age found at Castiglione, and the Proto-Corinthian and Corinthian material unearthed on Mount Vico. With a surface area of 46 square kilometres, Ischia is the largest of the Gulf Islands and also the one with the highest mountains. These include Monte Nuovo, 513 metres tall, Monte Tripodi, 502, Monte Toppo, 427, and Monte Vezzi, 395. But the tallest is Mount Epomeo, which rises to 788 metres above sea level. In addition to being a splendid place for an excursion, Mount Epomeo is also interesting from geological, volcanological and agricultural viewpoints. However, all high points on the island guarantee breathtaking views. The specific geography of the island and the factors determined by vegetation and the weather result in a series of microclimates which make the island's year-round climate the mildest and the most constant in the Gulf of Naples. Although in some parts of the island the indigenous plant life has been buried beneath the buildings, there are still many citrus and olive groves, orchards, vineyards, and chestnut and pine woods. The local wines have an unmistakable flavour, especially Epomeo and Biancolella, obtained from vines which are sometimes extremely difficult to cultivate, such as on the terraces of Monte Sant'Angelo. Ischia's volcanic nature also plays a crucial role in the local economy. The spa water springs have many physico-chemical and healing qualities and are distributed throughout the island. The waters known as Fornello, Fontana and San Camillo from the Ischia Porto area are salso-bromo-iodic and slightly radioactive. The Rita and Gurgitello springs in Casamicciola exceed 70 degrees centigrade, while the water in the Giardini Poseidon Centre on the beach at Citara is salso-sulfate alkaline and radioactive. The springs of Regina Isabella and Santa Restituta at Lacco Ameno are particularly well known. Other springs are found at Olmitello, Nitrodi and Acquascura, to name just the more well known. But every town and often every hotel has its own spring and thermal water baths. Ischia has about 300 hotels with accommodation for thousands of guests, in addition to the private houses for rent. In short, it can offer a solution for all tastes and all budgets, but the high standard of hospitality is always the same. Finally, we must remember the Thermalia International Spa Water Tourism event, which is held every year for tour operators from all over the world. We could talk for hours about the sea around Ischia and the bathing establishments along its 34 kilometres of coastline, with famous beaches such as I Maronti, San Montano, Citara, La Spiaggia dei Pescatori and Lacco Ameno, all bounded by headlands, capes and promontories. These localities are all well known to those who have made the island their ideal holiday location. And let us not forget the added attraction of the genuine local foodstuffs that enhance the traditional dishes of Campania's cuisine, with its authentic variety of flavours from the region's 5 provinces. And when we talk about cuisine in Campania, we mean the healthy, wholesome and tasty dishes collectively known as the Mediterranean diet. These dishes look, taste and smell delicious, but they are made with the simplest ingredients, like pasta made from wheat flour and tomatoes. These are the same basic ingredients we find in the world-famous pizza napoletana, first baked for Queen Margherita and now renowned throughout the world.